Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got your Week 13 start and sit video for the quarterback position. Again, we are 2 weeks left of the regular season and then playoff start for most leagues. There may be a few of you that are starting Week 14, but remember there are buys on Week 14, so hopefully you are starting Week 15. There are 2 teams on a bye this week. You've got the Cardinals and the Panthers, so obviously no Murray and nobody's starting a Carolina Panther anyway. So we're going to jump right into this. We've got the obvious starts here. These are the obvious quarterbacks you should be playing. I've got a little bit longer list than I normally do, just because I believe these quarterbacks have really good matchups this week, or they've just done a really good job and have been on fire lately. So these quarterbacks you should be starting this week, no matter the situation. Now, as far as the first quarterback I recommend as a good start, it was a little tough going through this list, but I've got Trevor Lawrence as a good start this week against the Lions. Lions allow the most points to the quarterback with 24.6 points and over 270 passing yards. Lawrence has been on fire. He's been awesome the last couple of weeks. He's starting to really feel comfortable in this Doug Peterson offense, which I had really high hopes for anyways, because Doug Peterson has done a good job developing quarterbacks, and with his talent, he should be a very good one for years to come. Detroit will do their best to keep this game competitive, which I think can put up some decent points, which is why I think Trevor Lawrence won't be necessarily a blowout. Like Jaguars and Lions could be a close game, which is going to make sure that Lawrence is still on the field. Unlike, for example, last week, Tua left with 299 passing yards because they were blowing out Houston. So hopefully that doesn't obviously happen in this game. I do like this matchup a lot for Trevor Lawrence. Now, Marcus Mariota is another quarterback I recommend this week. He's going against the Steelers. Steelers allow 20.8 points and 280 passing yards a game to quarterbacks. Now, they did a pretty good job against the Colts last night, but they did allow him to Matt Ryan to obviously score. But the defense isn't the same Pittsburgh Steelers defense that we're used to. So with that said, they do give up a decent amount of points. They're also allowing 2 touchdowns per game as an average to quarterbacks. So Mariota does one of 2 things. He throws a pass and he runs a pass. So he's got that dual threat capability. Now, he doesn't have all of his weapons, obviously, with Pitts out. He's really got Drake London. Patterson a little bit. You've got Algier. It's really more of a running back strength than anything else. But Mariota does have those legs that help keep him effective and as a dual threat, which I think, again, he can get you 17 to 18 points, which is what he's been doing pretty consistently for the most part. Now, the last quarterback I recommend as a good start is Jared Goff versus the Jaguars. Like I mentioned earlier with the Lions, Trevor Lawrence against the Lions, I like this game. I like this matchup between the Lions and Jaguars. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. It should be pretty tight. I think there's going to be a lot of points because both defenses do struggle. And I think Goff has the ability to put up decent points this week. Jags allowed 19.6 to the quarterback and 255 passing yards. They're also allowing 1.5 touchdowns per game. And I can see this really happening. Now, there's rumors of Jameson Williams possibly coming back this week. We'll see if that's really true. I know they would love for him to play. He's technically off of IR, so to speak, because they are expecting him to be either ready this week or next week. If he does play this week, this is a nice little matchup for him. I'm not saying he should be at start, but it does add some extra fire because DJ Chark did pretty well. Amon Ross done pretty well. And then you still got the running backs in Jamal and obviously Swift. So I do like this offense really well. Again, this game's going to be fun. I know it's not typical saying Lions and Jaguars, but I'm looking forward to this game. Now, as far as my first sit, I've got Mac Jones versus the Bills. Bills hold quarterbacks to 14.8 points and under 240 passing yards. This is the Thursday night game, so make sure you guys are prepared for that. Mac looked really good against the Vikings, though, so I will give him credit, but the Bills' defense is a lot better than Minnesota Vikings. They can get after the quarterback. They can create turnovers. So Mac Jones isn't going to be able to throw really well like he did before. And only 2 quarterbacks have had more than 17 points against the Buffalo Bills. One was Mahomes, which is expected, and the other was Brissett, but Brissett's had those type of games before. So again, Mac Jones is somebody I'm considering sitting. Another quarterback I'm sitting this week is Andy Dalton versus the Bucs. The Bucs have held quarterbacks to 15 points the last few weeks. On top of that, Andy Dalton hasn't played well, minus the game against the Rams where he put up 22 points, and that's kind of an odd game. He's been averaging 13 points realistically, and it's just most of you probably aren't starting him anyways, but I want to mention him in here just in case you're struggling to kind of put a quarterback in there. And the offense has really struggled. Kamara does not look good at all. He has been fumbling. He has not been a focal point. And when they are trying to get him the ball, defenses know that, and they're just constantly wrapping him up. So again, if Kamara is not effective, Dalton won't be effective either. I think realistically, the Saints should have put Winston back in, but hey, I don't run a football team. So now, Last quarterback I have is Daniel Jones versus the Commanders. He should be at sit this week. Last 5 games for Washington, they've only allowed an average of 14.8 points. Danny Dimes has his rushing ability, which has always kept him kind of a relevant quarterback. He's number 12 in the season as far as fantasy goes, which is pretty good. I mean, a lot of people were not expecting that out of him. But again, his rushing ability has helped him there. Now, this is a tough matchup. He's not someone who's going to produce strong points. I think he's probably going to get you to that 14-point mark. So if you're looking for a consistent, safe floor of 14, 15 points, then start Daniel Jones. But there are definitely other options. Maybe Deshaun Watson. Maybe you've got him on your team. You've been sitting on him. Because I'm not necessarily saying Deshaun should play this week, but I think I would probably risk Deshaun Watson than Daniel Jones. Now, as far as my sleeper goes, I've got the GOAT Mike White versus the Vikings. Mike White looked like QB1 for the Jets. He looked amazing. He had 3 touchdowns. He looked great. He didn't whine. He looks like he's got the respect from his offense. The receivers looked a lot better. Garrett Wilson went off. Elijah Moore showed up. I mean, this is just a completely different team when Mike White came in. Plus, the Vikings, they allowed 21 points to the quarterbacks the last 3 games. They're struggling defensively. Jets should be playing catch up in this game. I think this is actually going to be a fun game. You got a 7-4 Jets against a really good Vikings team, even though the Cowboys beat them. But Vikings are allowing passing yards. They're just under 300 passing yards. They're allowing 21 points in the last few games. So Mike White, man, let's repeat that magic. Be the GOAT that you are. And I really like him as a nice little sleeper this week. So those are my start sits and sleepers for the quarterback position for week 13. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys enjoyed the content, it was helpful for you, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Also hit that like button while you guys are here. It's greatly appreciated. If you guys do have questions of who you should be starting and sitting, of course, hit us up in the comments down below. That's what we're here for. We want to try to give you some good advice. That way you guys can put the best lineup forward. Again, good luck. We've got 2 weeks left. Then we've got the playoffs, so every matchup matters. Every starting lineup matters. So make sure you guys are asking away. Again, stay tuned. We'll be dropping our start and sit videos for the running back, wide receiver, and tight end. And if you guys haven't already, check out our waiver wire video. Our waiver wire video will help you guys maybe pick up some players that might be a little sneaky play. These are guys that are available at least 30% or more. So again, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and I'll catch you guys next time.